Donald Cam and the mighty muscled Goban returned to the sandy shores of Igmoor. There the bold clansmen were met by wild wailing wives who excitedly gave evidence regarding the Morrison reavers' raid and Donald Cam's cattle lost. At once the temperamental Hieland hero rallied his clansmen and made the counter-raid. War-ready raiders rose to that clansman's call. Freebooters, unaccustomed to feathery beds, bent backs and rode across Loch Rogue, with revenge high in their hearts. Like stalking stags, the McCulleys moved steadily and stealthily over Green Glen and High Hill, until those clansmen had come in sight of Duncarroway. There the Hielanders found Donald Cam's shaggy herd, grazing on the grounds around that keep. They also heard their eternal enemies, hooting and howling, wild with strong wine. Perhaps, feeling too secure, those plunderers left but one wretched Morrison warrior on watch. The avenging McCulley Hielanders decided to hold up for the night out on a distant hill. They would wait to strike the next dawning day, after their sottish enemies were wine-nourished and weary from a full night's drunkfest. Early the next misty morning, Donald Cam and Gauban again stealthily scouted the grounds of that Morrison stronghold. Near their enemy's keep, they found a fire on which bubbled and boiled a large cast-iron kettle. Within that huge pot was a whole half-cow's carcass cooking. The breakfast brew was being watched by a single hungover Hielander, who also guarded the only doorway to that Morrison dun. Silent as wolves following a sick stag in the forest, Donald and Goban closed in on that lone clansman. Soft-footed and fast to their target, the two quickly overwhelmed the Morrison guard. Goban gave the knave a good knock on the noggin, which left that watchman locked limp in the iron grip of the smith. A wicked plan came clear to the pondering Donald Cam. He asked his big friend to drown the watchman in that boiling kettle once the cooked coo was removed. The McCulley took that cooking carcass from the broad bubbling bowl, where the mighty smith spun that limp watchman round as easily as a peat shovel from head to handle. Perhaps too soon the poor fellow recovered from his head hammering. That unlucky plunderer recovered only to find himself right side down and fixed fast in the powerful grip of Gauban. The blurry-eyed reaver, more than a little too late, remembered that excessive wine while on watch was an unwise way to tend to your task. Before the day's guard could cry out, Gauban gave him a deadly dip deep into that boiling brew. Silent, yet wildly twitching like a fish tossed from sea to shore, the hapless Hielander boiled alive, head first at the bottom of that bubbling basin. The cooked beef, taken from the killing kettle, was fitted into a folded plate and brought back to the McCulley warband for breakfast. When his men were well fed, McCulley made fast for the sleeping rogues kept in that keep. Gauban was tasked with taking the dun door and wedging it close tight. Then Donald Cam took the two dirks he always went about with and fixed them one after the other like steps into the turf-wrapped dun. In this manner the malevolent McCulley climbed to the top of that circular tower. Where the bold Donald was making a steel stairway, his islanders were put to picking and bundling dried heather from a nearby hill. Still inside the silently sieged keep, Morrison clansmen slept balmy in their beds. Donald climbed close to the top of Duncarroway and pulled away the final top rock from that roof. The wily McCulley then had the heather tossed up to him. He dropped those bundles in a pile through that hole to the top floor of the dun. Next, a burning stick, taken from beneath the watchman's kettle, was also tossed to him. Donald Cam put fire to the heather he placed in that keep, and quickly it went to flickering. Duncarroway's roof filled fast with flames, and soon after the top of the keep was burning bright. Stored in the dun were dried hides, grass and grains, all of which quickly caught fire, burning and billowing black smoke. Then blazing bits began dropping down between the floors. When the decks and wood beams went to flame, red flickering ruin fully filled that doomed dun. Like a great chimney, hell's heat and choking smoke came pouring out from the top of that keep. The hungover Hielanders within those dun walls woke, gagging and gulping for good air. Mony Morrisons made for the dun door, but try as they might, the wedged way to life wouldna be moved. Men fell fast to the floor, desperately sucking at the ground, seeking even a little air for their lacking lungs. Some sorrowful clansmen who were moments before roaring with wild rage now screamed as they started cooking in that stone cauldron. Donald Cam and his crew left those fear-filled clansmen of Duncarroway to face their fiery fate. He calmly took his herd home, glad in his glory that there were fewer Morrisons today than yesterday. The bright burning dun fell utterly wrecked and in ruin. Those avenging McCulleys, happy with their fate of their foes, collected Donald's cattle and crossed Loch Rogue, returning most of the shaggy beasts back to Igmoor.